All right, GM, hello everybody. Good morning, wherever and whenever you are. If you're watching in live, watching the recording, or if you're here in the audience. My name is Luke. I'm Luc.eth, and I'm talking about Web3 identity and ENS and everything related. Let's start off with a quick show of hands. Who here has an ENS name? Sweet. That's most of you. Awesome. All right, so quick run of the agenda. Am I missing a point? Nope, I'm doing great. All right. In no apparent order, because every talk is supposed to have an agenda, we've got what ENS is, some top-level domains like your .xyz, your .io, your .cache, and all that fun stuff. Web3 identity, developers, documentation, and obviously ENS cards, which I almost lost. Cool, so what are we here for? What is ENS? What are we doing? ENS is a decentralized permissionless naming protocol that lives on Ethereum and scales to the entire internet. And what that essentially means is very simple. I'm Luke, otherwise known as 0x225F137127D906 C3B5, otherwise known as Luc.eth, which is a whole lot easier to remember, in my opinion. So where traditional DNS would convert google.com into an IP address, ENS allows us to convert human-readable names like loosmans.com or luke.computer and Luc.eth into machine-readable addresses, such as IP addresses, content hashes, Arweave, IPFS, Ethereum addresses, Solana, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and much, much more. So anywhere where you can read and write an address, you should be able to use an ENS. Whether that's Etherscan, whether that's OpenSea, any place you're showing off addresses, you can make your experience in dApps easier by showing names. Let's talk about that. So in most of these applications here, you'll see me sending some assets, or you'll see Greg sending some assets, actually, vice versa. And it's pretty much all the same. You go to your favorite wallet, you go to the search box, and instead of entering an address, you enter a name. You get confirmed with some extra information. Woo, I tripped over the cable. And that's it. It's that simple, and it works anywhere. As well as in the top right of your favorite dApps. Here's Greg in sushi.com, Rainbow, and Snapshot. And I think I took a couple more as well. So ENS is integrated in most of the Ethereum ecosystem. We're in almost every library out there, and I've had too much caffeine, so I'm accelerating. Apologies. Why, you might ask? It's very simple. It's fun, it's cool, it's portable, it's multi-chain, it's extensible, it's a public good, it's decentralized, and it improves the crypto UX. There are so many steps involved. Setting up a wallet, backing up your private keys, keeping track of addresses, and much, much more. Having a name just removes that little barrier to entry for so many people. And it's also just a super cool public good. I mean, this is ENS. Like, what do you want? We're here to extend DNS. We're not here to replace the existing domain name system. I'm here today because there's cables on the floor, and they run IP over copper, or over fiber, I think, if I checked correctly. And we're not planning to replace that. We're here to extend .com, and we're here to extend all of the other DNS domains that already exist. So whether you have an IO, an XYZ, a finance, or any of the 2,000 that unfortunately I mostly remember that support DNSSEC, your name will work, and you can use it within ENS completely gasless and completely for free right now today. So how does that work? How does ENS work? There's this resolution process, and I could go down the developer rabbit hole, but TLDR, everything is controlled by smart contract, and smart contract go brr. And that's all you need to know. ENS is just, I want to look up a name, and I want to retrieve an address, I want to retrieve an avatar, I want to retrieve some records. Easy. So here's an example. Don't worry. It's only going to be like super in-depth, and that's all. I'm kidding. I will skip most of the details, and I'll save you. So let's talk about it. Luc.eth, 0x225F137127 C3B5, profile picture, and a close button. Cool. Every contract, every name has a resolver. A resolver is essentially just a smart contract that's responsible for resolution of the name. So the resolver keeps track of your profile picture, the resolver keeps track of your Bitcoin address, your Litecoin address, your whatever else. Everything is in the resolver. So the way that works is ENS reaches out to a registry, and then there's a thing, and it looks at who owns .eth, and then there's a contract, because all of them have contracts, and then it goes to the ETH contract, and then it goes, who's Luc.eth? And then Luc.eth has a contract that's responsible, the resolver. And you get to set this resolver. So you can run set resolver, and you can change it to whatever you'd like, provided you're the owner of the name. So I can change the way my name works, as well as how subdomains work by changing the resolver, and just saying this smart contract is now in charge of everything my name from now on. And that's super cool. So this resolver just implements some specification to look up some info. It's got A to DR, it's got name, it's got ABI, and it's got pub key. And it's super cool. You just make a function in your contract that returns some info, and that's it. That's your resolver. And you can do this for Luc.eth, you can do this for text records, you can do this for so much more, and you can put whatever logic you can imagine in here. So if you want to issue subdomains or change your address based on the current market situation or based on who owns an NFT or give out subdomains to every NFT holder or DAO member or person with voting rights, you name it, you can make it happen. You want your profile picture to change based on the day of the week? Have fun, be my guest. But caching is an issue and whatever. Okay, so, breathe. I'm accelerating again. That was all the difficult stuff. Now you know how ENS works. Thank you for not walking out while I did the text section. What about subnames? Are you ready? Hello.luc.eth. Same story. Reaches out to the registry, reaches out to the ETH registrar. Look, I skipped like 12 slides here. And then it gets the resolver. Your magic happens. It returns all the information. And hello.luc.eth suddenly exists. So you can do all that fun DAO and NFT magic that I talked about earlier. GG easy. Next. So super simple. You bring the resolver. We bring the resolution. That's it. We're an open protocol. Anybody can implement us, whether you're building your own naming service or whether you're doing something completely different. ENS just works. It's great. Very nice. So you thought it was over? No, we're just getting to the good stuff. ENS lets you store text records. Your name is not just some way to get to an address. It's your digital identity. It's your backpack. You can store your avatar in here. You can store your banner in here. You can store so much more. So that function right there, they told me not to walk in front of the screen. I'm going to do it anyway. It's right here. It takes the avatar field in, and that lets you do whatever you want. So if you want to change the avatar, be my guest. Make the logic happen. You can store text records. All the things. It's that simple. So whether you want to store your preferred DM3 messaging profile, encryption keys, header for your banner image, your time zone, because UTC is the only time zone, your example age ZK proof to verify you're over 21 so you can get a drink. Jeez. Your preferred color scheme, light mode, obviously. Why are you looking at me like that? Your Twitter, your X, your GitHub, your Telegram, your whatever you want to store. It's key value storage. If your app wants to store your preferred sound that plays when you visit your MySpace profile, be my guest. It's ENS. We're an open protocol, and you can do whatever you'd like. Well, within smart contract limits, but essentially. Got it? Cool. So we talked about some of the apps that implement it. But where? Why would I do this? Why am I going to implement ENS? So super simple. It's identity. This is the ENS app. It shows all your information and all of your records, and you can do whatever you want with this. You can edit it. You can store it. We can use it to give wallets a personality. This is a screenshot from a snapshot proposal. You can use it as immutable records. Uniswap uses it to keep track of where their deployments are on which chain and copyright. It's crazy. Decentralized protocols use it to have identity and have naming systems such as Farcaster. We love Farcaster. Web3 messaging, whether it's XMTP or DM3 or any of the other protocols out there. And just letting users enter names. I'm so done alt-tabbing to my wallet and copy-pasting. It's not safe. It's really that simple, though. It's just a name. So you want one. I get it. Totally. So if you want a .eth, ENS.app is the place to be. They're $5 a year. Yes, there's a renewal fee. Yes, there's a reason for it. I'll get back to that later. But they're $5 a year, and they have some Ethereum fees, but it gets better. Stop walking out on me. Okay, fine. Want a uni.eth subdomain? Uniswap has it. Oh, install the Uniswap wallet, or if you are a Uniswap wallet user, they're giving away free uni.eth subdomains. If you're a Coinbase user, you can get a free cb.id. If you're an Argent user, there's the Argent wallet. If you have a .com, .xyz, or a .org, GoDaddy recently added a Web3 tab. So with a single press of the button, your .com is now your Web3 identity. It's that easy. And if you don't use GoDaddy, any other DNS provider, it's a couple extra clicks. Okay, fine. But it will still work. So you can get your Luc.cash or your .finance or your .domains or your whatever your preferred Web2 domain is in the Web3 space and use it as your identity. So you want to build your own naming system? Bet. Do it. Implement ENS and work everywhere. Because ENS doesn't just work in wallets. ENS doesn't just work in dApps. ENS doesn't just work on my fridge, which I've yet to program. It works everywhere. And it's great. We're an open protocol. anyone can implement and anyone can build on top of the ENS ecosystem. Check out docs.ens.domains. It's really cool. So let's build. Building on ENS, super simple. We've got a design system. So if you're not a front-end dev or you're not a designer, you smack some components together and it looks nice. You're welcome. If you want to do ENS.js, you want to hit you want to load information specifically, you want to load the graph information, you want to load other kinds of stuff, we've got a whole library for it with everything you might need to know. I'll give you a second to scan that. Cool. Then there's fresh documentation, got a beautiful QR code as well. We gave the documentation a complete refresh, complete rewrite, Thorin design, all of the cool stuff, dark theme support. I think I missed a spot, but I'm sure it's fine. And that's it. Issue subdomains, whether it's Uniswap, Coinbase, Argent, or just Nick. Here's the QR code. And then last but not least, we're doing ENS swag. We've got these super cool cards. I've got 2 QR codes here. I like a game of Jeopardy. So one of them goes to the swag registration site, and the other one is up to you to find out. So yeah, we're still here for the rest of the conference while supplies last. We'll be printing more of these cool cards. So if you have an ENS, a .uni.eth, a .cb.id, or a .lens name, or you name it, show up, your .xyz, we'll print you a card, and we'll have a good time. Yeah, that was most of what I had. Enjoy Denver. This was the last talk of the day, so you can exit and you can have a good time. And thank you very much for having me. I went way too fast, but I'm sure it's okay.